Take it away. Okay, so one of the things that I have had to, let me see, hold on. One of the things, can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. One of the things that I have had to do over the years is really start to revisit a lot of the things that, I'll be honest with you, I personally probably take for granted because I've literally done this job with Plexus, had this business longer than I've had any other career. And I've had lots of different things that I've done since I was 21 when I got out of college. And so I'll be honest with you, I have to continuously remind myself of, Robin, I need to share that, or I need to share that, or I don't need to take that for granted, or I don't need to assume everybody knows that. And so that's what this call is really about. And the reason why I wanted to do this call today, as we end this month and we move into the summer season and the summer months, is because what you do with your customers from now until the end of August is really going to set you up for the remainder of your year. But it is also really going to set you up for success, set your people up for success, but also set you up for success to really finish this year strong, but also for you to earn this Leaders Retreat contest. And I know I had at least 30 to 40 of you saying, I want to be on that ship. I want a free cruise to Labadee, Haiti. And I don't know about y'all, but nothing's better than a free trip. I am a travel guru. I love to travel. And so why not leverage all the things that you're learning on this team, all the things that Plexus has given us, and really, really finish out your year strong. So first things first, I want to talk about how and why it's so important to get offline as soon as possible. So most of the time, as you probably know, and some of you may be kind of new to Plexus, so forgive me if I'm saying some things that may be new to you as it relates to the business, but this is an online business. Almost all businesses at this point, there is some online presence. If there isn't, then they're probably not going to be around as long as you would want them to be, because e-commerce is really where it's at. And so everybody's trying to leverage this free marketing tool, whether it's through Facebook or LinkedIn or TikTok, Instagram. There's all kinds of things out there that people are leveraging. And so for us, a lot of us are some old fogies on here, and for old folks, Facebook is the way to go, right? So I'm just going to say everything through Facebook, even though I know there's obviously lots of different avenues and different social media outlets that you can use. So most of the time, your easiest connection point to other people is through social media. Does everybody understand why? Okay. So because of that, most of the time you're starting your conversations with people through Facebook, through Instagram, through TikTok, wherever, right? And because of that, many times we get really, really comfortable with keeping the conversations just on our phones. So we're messaging back and forth. We're just kind of like having this volleyball of conversation. And one thing I will tell you is that if you continue to keep it online, you're going to miss out on a lot of things I'm about to share with you. But the biggest thing is making that genuine connection with people. 100% of the time, I think that I have a really good success rate is if I get on the phone with somebody, 9 times out of 10, they're going to sign up. And it's because I have made myself so much more relatable. I have made myself so much more genuine. The fact that I actually wanted to get on the phone with them. And I actually have people tell me, they're like, wow, I can't believe you actually wanted to take the time to talk to me about this. Like, because all they're thinking is people just want to sell me something. I'm just a number to them, but you want to make that actual connection. Okay. So as soon as you get them in a conversation online, you need to be trying to take it offline as quickly as possible. Everybody get that? And one of the ways that I do that is if I've reached out to them because they've liked a post of mine, or they're in my stories consistently, they're kind of watching and lurking, or someone reaches out to me personally and they're in my inbox. One of the first things I do is say, hey, let me know when you have a few minutes. And I may share some things with them. That's not the first thing I do because that can seem kind of weird, but I will ask them, what are your health goals? And they'll type out whatever it is they're trying to figure out. I'm still going to go back to that conversation when I actually get on the phone with them, because a lot gets uncovered when you actually ask them about it and talk to them about it, as opposed to you just asking via text. But after maybe 2 or 3 interactions online within like a few minutes, okay, I'm not talking about days, because sometimes people will go days that they're volleyballing conversation back and forth, and then they try to get them on the phone. You want to get them on the phone as soon as you can. So I'll have maybe 2 or 3 interactions and I say, hey, it'd be a lot easier to talk about this over the phone. Do you have a few minutes now, or do you have a few minutes tomorrow, or do you have an open window of time between 1 and 3? Like, give a specific time. Don't let it linger. So get them on the phone. Okay. Now, the next thing is when you actually get them on the phone, you want to have some small talk, right? You don't want to make it weird. You don't want to just jump into, okay, so tell me what you're doing. Tell me why you want to start Plexus. Tell me what you're thinking about. What combos are you looking at? What post did you like? You don't want to ask all those questions right from the start. You just want to like have a normal conversation. Hey girl, and make sure you go to their Facebook profile or whatever if you don't really know what's going on with them, just to get some sort of like glimpse of what's happening in their life. So something you can ask about. So I'll often go to their profile, because sometimes I don't even know who they are. I'll go to their profile and I'll look up a few things. Oh, I just saw you had your oldest son graduated. That's so awesome. Where's he thinking about going to school? Are you sad? Or you know, what's going on? What are the emotions? And that way I'm connecting with them. Okay. I rarely ever talk about myself, and nor do people ask me about myself. Okay. People do not care. They always want to talk about themselves. Okay. So 5 to 7 minutes is about the max of small talk that I'll do. Some people, if I really genuinely had a relationship with them or have a relationship with them or know them, maybe I just don't talk to them all the time, I may spend a little bit more time, but I don't try to rush that process if it's someone that I genuinely know and care about. And genuinely know, meaning we are actual for real friends. So that just depends on the relationship that you have with that person. The second thing you want to do is you want to ask them about their interest in Plexus or their specific health goals. So I told you that I asked that question when I'm actually messaging them, but I ask them again when I'm on the phone. Can anybody tell me why you think it would be helpful to ask them again on the phone? Or maybe someone has had a specific occurrence that this has happened with them. Anybody want to unmute or popcorn out real quick?
Make sure that they're concerned still, or they may have other concerns.
Would you say, Elnita, someone is
I said to
got
make
some-
sure that what you talked to them about before and when you were messaging them is still the same, or if they have other concerns?
Yes, because a lot of times people will flat out say, I want to lose weight. I just want to get this weight off, or I've got a wedding in 2 weeks, or I've got this, that, and the other. But when you ask them again, especially when you're on the phone, and then you say, do you have any they'll say, I just want to lose weight. Maybe they'll say that again, but then I say, so you don't have any health struggles. You're not struggling in anywhere, digestion, you poop regularly, you're not on any medications for diabetes, any autoimmune issues, you don't have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, all the things, the common things that people struggle with, right? If you say that, I can guarantee you it'll probably trigger. I mean, I was on a phone conversation with, probably 45 minutes with this person. This is someone I'm actually friends with. And I didn't find out and I asked a bunch of questions, and I didn't find out until after I signed her up on the phone, that she was on Ozempic. And so I'm like, okay, she's not pooping, she's not doing all these things, because there's probably, so now I have to do my due diligence as a good customer service agent to go and find out, okay, what are the actual side, because trust to believe all these people that are losing a ton of weight on Ozempic, whenever they are slated to get off of Ozempic, they're probably going to gain a lot of that weight back. And I'm not saying Ozempic's a bad drug for people to take, but I am saying that it's so new and people are using it for weight loss. So many people are using it for low weight loss and not what it was actually created for, that there probably are some side effects that my personal friend is experiencing, even though she's gaining a benefit from Ozempic. So anyway, bottom line, you really want to ask them about their interest. You also want to ask them about their interest in Plexus, because you honestly, especially if they liked one of your posts, or they've just been watching you over time, you don't know if they actually have a financial need. A lot of times we just assume, oh, people must be coming to us for the products, because we don't have a big enough vision that someone could actually want the opportunity. But there have been many times that I've asked the question, what's your interest in Plexus? What is it about Plexus that made you reach out to me? And they will flat out say, oh, well, I need the money, or I'm interested in another income stream, or I'm about to retire in 2 years and I want to find something that I can do, after I leave my 9 to 5. And so you want to be very clear and specific about that. You also want to really talk to them about how committed they are. So this is something I think a lot of times people shy away from because they think, well, I don't want to scare them off. I don't want to scare them away. I'm like so close to actually getting this person to sign up because I actually got them on the phone, and maybe that's a hurdle for you. Maybe you have a hard time getting people on the phone. So if that's something that's hard for you to do, and that now you're actually getting people on the phone, you don't want to lose that person. So many times you just try to cut to the chase and get straight to the order. But I really want people to be the right clients for me, because I'm spending a lot of time helping people to truly transform their health because I have a genuine desire to help people in that area. And so I'm asking them, how committed are you to a healthier lifestyle? Is this something if you're, and I just flat out tell them, if this is something you're only looking to do because you want something quick or something easy, this is probably not going to be it for you, because this is more of a lifestyle change than anything else. And that's exactly what it's been for me over the past 10 years. So if this is something you're not looking to do in the next 30, 60 days, this probably isn't the best option for you. And I have to be willing to let them go. Most of the time, and I don't mean for this to be kind of reverse psychology, but I think that's what it ends up being. People then are like, no, I want to be committed. Because I think deep down, people do want to be committed to their health because they'd be crazy if they didn't, right? But it's hard for them to just flat out state, I want a change for my life. I want something different. And so you really want to help them to see that this is not a get skinny, quick, fad diet. It's not something that's going to happen fast for them. You want to kind of lay that foundation while you're on the phone. Okay. And that can happen very quickly. You don't have to talk their ear off. Okay. You also want to share with them the subscription benefit. So I think one of the biggest things that we see where people fall short is that if they are having so many conversations within the messenger or text, they're not ever able to get to like the nuts and bolts of all of the benefits that you get with a VIP membership. So you're not really getting to, oh, this is what you get with your perks. This is what you get with your subscription. This is what you're earning every month that your sub goes through. This helps you also to be consistent. This is what you're getting with your pivotal program. All of those things, it's difficult to explain if you're only doing your transaction via text and if you're only sending a share card link. Okay. Now I will say that I have had some recent success and recent wins because I am utilizing Project Broadcast. And because of that, I have all of that follow-up already set up in my Project Broadcast. And so every single person is being touched now. Does that make sense? Whereas before, I did have people, obviously, my personal people that would fall through the cracks. It's like, I'm just trying to keep up with so much. It's difficult to, figure out, okay, I'm going to message this person on day 1, day 3, day 5, day 7, day 9, day 12. And I'm not saying that you have to reach out that much, but I am saying that there used to be a time on our team where I would share, this graphic that said 4 touch points for their first month. That is way too few touch points. In someone's first month, you really should be reaching out minimum twice a week. And I know that's really hard for people to want to hear and digest and actually take on as a goal, but it does not mean that you're getting on the phone with them twice a week, but it is like just messaging them and asking them. And that's the reason why you ask them how they're doing. And that's the reason why you getting on board with either putting some of this customer care follow-up, a lot of the things that we learned in the retention series. If you haven't listened to those videos, I highly encourage you to go back and listen to them. But that is 100% going to be the thing that changes and moves the needle in your business if you can get your retention, your customer care system down. And everybody has to have their own system. I have my own system as a diamond. You can have your own system at any rank that you are, but you have to create some system. And my systems have changed a ton over the years, okay? Because there was no Project Broadcast. There was no boards when I first started Plexus, right? So I had to evolve with the times. So you really, really want to help them to see the subscription benefits, describe that to them. I always say to people, it's just like a Costco or a Sam's membership, meaning the fee. When it's $1, I don't even mention it, but I do help people to see after, I do tell them in the beginning, it's only $1 right now, but if in 12 months you're still ordering, you will have a renewal fee of only $19.95. Does that make sense? You want to share that with them so they don't feel like it's I gotcha a year from now. But you also, as it relates to the subscription, you really want to help them to understand the perks program. I was just in a meeting with some executives last week, and they talked to us about the hard statistics that they pulled with people who sign up for that, redeem their perks. And it's on here it's on the slide right now. Those who redeem their perks in their first 90 days, they go on to average 12 months of orders with Plexus in their first year. Okay. So that means they stay consistent. They're more likely to stay consistent if they've redeemed their perks credit in their first 90 days. If they don't redeem their perks credits in their first 90 days, those people are averaging only 4 orders. Okay. Do y'all understand how much that can shift your business by you just pushing perks? I mean, legit. Okay. There is a graphic, and I spent at least 20 minutes trying to find it, but I'm sure Christy McDade has it somewhere, and I'll find it and post it on the page, because some of you aren't subscribed to her program. Even though it's $10 a month, though, I highly recommend it. Her program, meaning her Facebook group of all her graphics and stories and all the things. But what I have been doing here lately is I have intentionally created these messages that talk about perks multiple times throughout the month. I share with them a graphic that Christy made. I just can't locate it right now, but I would have put it in the slide. And I share with them, hey, after your second month, you'll have enough to get these products that you can choose from. So you really want to be pushing the perks credits. Okay. You also really want to be pushing the Pivotal program, because there's also statistics of higher retention with that program. Those who sign up for it, just sign up for Pivotal. We don't know the stats on how many people are using the recipes and how many people are, doing the movement videos, but we do have, if they've actually signed up for it. Those who have signed up, they have a 80% higher retention than those who don't. So guess what that means, y'all? If you're not plugging your people in, you're not really setting them up for success. You're really setting them up for failure. It's something about those additional perks, that additional community that they can be a part of. And hey, guys, if people don't want to be a part of the Pivotal Facebook group and Journey to Health and Happiness and the team, whatever team page you're putting them in, then that's fine. They can opt out of those things. But if you want to give them a strong start, you have to be willing to open them up to every aspect of that community, every aspect of our community. The other thing you want to mention to them on the phone, and I want to, before I keep going, I want to make sure that you guys understand that when I'm having this conversation on the phone with them, these topics, I'm not having long conversations about each one of these bullet points. I'm saying, hey, I just want you to know about this perk or this benefit. And even if I don't have time to talk about it specifically and break it down to them, like I said, I have a whole bunch of information that gets sent to them throughout their first month, but I'm also messaging them throughout their journey and just dripping some new things on them every couple of days. That's why I'm saying 4 touch points in a month is not enough. Because if you really want people benefiting from everything they can get from their VIP membership, you have to be talking about all these things over and over and over again until they actually do it. Okay. The referral program you also want to mention. I was listening to a podcast by Bob Heilig a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about, I can't remember the actual topic of the podcast, but it specifically stated that people are more likely, that there's 2 ways that you can shift your business. Everybody make sure they're muted? Cheryl, can you make sure everybody's muted? But one of the things that he said, 2 ways that you can really shift your business in a 90-day period is if you are asking people for referrals, okay? And he said there's 2 best times to ask for referrals, okay? And that doesn't mean that you're asking people to go work the business. That's different, okay? And there's different schools of thought. Some people will tell you you've got to lead with the business. If you're wanting to move fast, yes, you do need to lead with the business. You do need to make intentional reach outs to people about the business. But I'm pretty selective on who I'm reaching out to about the business because I don't want to work with everybody, right? I want to work with people who are driven, people who are self-starters, people who are disciplined. I don't want to have to drag people anymore, okay? And so it is so important that you pick and choose who those people that you're massaging those relationships, making those connections with, who you want to reach out about the business. But everybody, that's not the right fit, is to reach out to every single person about the business. That's just my opinion, okay? However, when you are reaching out to people and talking to them and you're in the process of signing them up, every single person, you need to be sharing the referral program with them. You need to help them and I say referral program, I don't really use I use a lot of the sales lingo. I say referral program because that's what people are used to. They're like, Loyalty rewards is like perks, and referral program is what people do when they share their website or share Uber Eats or whatever. They get a $15 credit and the person gets $15 credit too. Okay. People are used to that type of language. So when I tell them and share with them about our referral program, I will just flat out say, we have a referral program that comes. That's one of the benefits of your VIP membership. Should you decide that you want to share with someone, just let me know. I can help you to talk to that person if they need help. I can actually help you set that person up with a specific link to their cart. And I will use share cart benefits for people. I don't personally use share cart myself that often. I did sign someone up yesterday. That's because they were ready to order. There was no conversation needed to be had. They were just like, I want to do this. I'm ready to take advantage of this. And so I sent her a share cart link. She was able to do it successfully, thank God, and we were fine. But typically I don't use share cart. I will get on the phone with people like I'm talking to you, right? Like I'm talking about right now. However, for brand new people, I don't go through this whole process of, oh, you need to get on the phone with them and you need to walk them through. I don't do all that because I'm just trying to get them to see that it's not as difficult to share with people as they're thinking. Okay. So I then create share cart links for my new ambassadors. I just sent created a share cart link for one of my VIP customers because now she's sharing the reset with people. Okay. So when I talk about the referral program, one of the first things I say specifically is not just should you choose to, but I also specifically talk about, hey, one of the biggest ways that I continue to build my business is I really heavily rely on referrals. And so I just want you to think about, would you be willing to help me and think about who you know? Because people are much more likely to help other people than they are to even help themselves. And I know that sounds weird, but by nature, people are helpers. They want to do a favor. They want to help. Okay. So ask them, who do you know? Because if they think they're doing something to help you, then they're not looking at it as selling. They're like, oh, I'm helping my friend build her business. Okay. So I'll share, I'll talk to my sister, or I'm sure my cousin, who I'll see this weekend when we go out of town for our Memorial Day weekend, I'll ask her about it, that type of thing. So you're just saying to them, who do you know? The second time that you want to bring it up, because they may not be interested the first time, you do want to mention it at sign up. But the second time Bob Heilig is saying you should mention it is when they have their first win. Okay. So when they message you after their first week, they're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I completely got everything out of my system when I pooped. Like I haven't had a poop that good in years. Okay. When someone says something like that, you're like, that is amazing. I absolutely love getting referrals. And I would say other things beside that, but just cutting to the chase, and then ask them for referrals at that point in time. Finally, you want to set realistic expectations around product use and communication between you both. Okay. And what I mean by that is I want people to say, I just straight up say, this is a 90-day program. Are you willing to commit 90 days to your health? Because if you're just wanting to do something for 30 days and thinking that you're going to get some amazing, huge, life-changing results, that's probably not going to happen. And so I just want to level set with you and create some realistic expectations for what you're trying to achieve and what you're trying to accomplish here. But I also really help them to see the consistency with their product use is key if they want to see results. I always use the analogy with birth control pills that kind of sometimes work, you kind of sometimes take them. And then I also set expectations about my communication with myself and them. So I will say to them, hey, I will be contacting you pretty often during the first month. I tell them, because I do have Project Broadcast now, I tell them, you'll probably start getting messages from me soon. It's from my work phone number. I have a separate phone number. They don't know it's from the same phone. They don't know it's Project Broadcast because it looks like it's coming from a separate number. And so I share that with them. I'll be communicating with you there as well. But if I have a question or anything, or you have a question for me and you want to send it via voice clip, send it to me in Facebook Messenger. Okay. So I lay out kind of all the expectations in the beginning so they know. And honestly, well, let me go to the next one. I'll get to that in a second. Okay. Last and final thing. Once you get them signed up as a VIP customer, some of these things I've already gone over, so we'll go over this pretty quickly. You want to welcome them into our community. Okay. You want to welcome them into our team page, Journey to Health and Happiness, any Plexus groups. Okay. So it could be the reset group if they're on reset. It could be some of our challenge groups that we may have going on, like the 40-day sugar fast. They may not have signed up for that, but that may be something they're interested in. Even if it's just the last 10 days, you've introduced them now to some spiritual growth, some new reading, and our community. You also want to invite them to the Plexus pages. The Plexus pages, that may be a better fit for some people. Some people may like something that's super lively. There's always something going on. There's thousands of people. That may not be everybody's cup of tea, but it just might be. Another thing that we need to really start leveraging more as a team, and I'll be honest, I have not done the best job of constantly promoting it, is all of these Motivation Monday and Wellness Wednesday calls, not the ones that our team does, but the ones that Plexus does, okay? All these corporate calls, we can leverage a lot more. Our book clubs, not just our book clubs, but Plexus's book club. Those are calls and events that we can all leverage to plug people into the community more, because it's different strokes for different folks. You really don't know what's going to appeal to people. You do if you know the person pretty well. So I'm not saying you need to throw the kitchen sink at them, like say, oh, invite them to every single little thing you do, but you do want to be strategic about consistently and intentional about inviting them to things. Another big one is our vision casting calls, all of our prospect calls, the Wellness Wednesday calls that Team Grit does, our gut health product training call that's done once a month, and our work from home workshop calls. And again, our corporate calls, right? You really want to reiterate your follow-up in customer care. And I said this earlier. I also set the expectation that, hey, the only thing that I ask, I literally say this, the only thing that I ask is I will be in contact with you quite often during the first month, because it's my job to really help you get the results that you're looking for. And so me consistently and frequently following up with you is going to be key in the first 30, 60 days. And so all that I ask is that you are responsive when I reach out. I mean, even if it's just thanks for letting me know or something, just respond. Do you mind just responding to me? I mean, I flat out tell people, do you mind responding, so that they know that, like, it's not okay to be rude and not respond to people. So that's a big one that I often use almost every single time when I'm signing someone up on the phone. I remember to say that. And I always remember, and I pick up on the times that I may forget to say that. Those are the people that I hear from the least. Okay. You also really want to talk about the cadence and the follow-up. So if you say, is it okay? Like, put it in their court, like make sure you get permission from them. You don't always have to do that for some people. If you feel like they're a little bit skittish, you may want to just ask them, hey, do you mind if I follow up with you via text, or what's your best way of contacting you? Because some people don't check Facebook Messenger like that. So figure out what's the best way to contact them or to follow up with them, and then talk about that cadence and what that looks like, and see if they're okay with it. If they say, oh yeah, sure, that's fine, then you want to stick with the twice a week or whatever. Okay. You also, again, want to keep sharing with them, connecting with them, and inviting them to events, calls, challenges, all of those things. I'm reiterating that one more time. So I'm almost out of time. I want to make sure that I've answered any questions. It's 8:28, but does anybody have anything they want to share? Does anybody have anything that they feel like has been really beneficial that they've been doing that they want to share with us? Because I'm always open to new ideas.
Hey, Robin.
Hey, Renee.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Definitely copping that hat when I come to see grandma. So I have a little graphic that after people ordered me that has my picture on it. One has this picture that's presented here, and I say, I have two that I send to them that's been super effective, that doesn't just get lost in a text message. My words are in the graphic of with my picture. It's like a thing I did in Canva. One says, thank you for trusting me on your wellness journey. And then I'll say, hey, like we just did a vendor event, Tracy and I put in there, hey, remember I met you at the senior citizens vendor event, and you talked about this. Please share a good time where I can reach out to you, and I give them the times, but it's just more than just a text message. But that one I pretty much changed based on what's happened. Does that make sense?
What do you mean based on what's happened?
Based on if it's a vendor event, that's how I met them. I remind them how I met them in that graphic, and I put my picture so that they can connect that with, oh yeah, I met her at the senior citizens event. And then I go into why I'm reaching out to them.
Yes, that's a very good tip. Thank you for sharing that, Renee. Especially there's quite a few of you that I've been seeing have been doing a lot of vendor events. And that is super beneficial because you will forget how you, I mean, and they will forget you. They'll forget how did I meet this person and what email list did I get on and what is this? And so that's super helpful. Thank you for sharing that, Renee. It kind of sounded like what Renee was sharing as well was almost like they may not have ordered in Renee's case. It may be like her way of continuously connecting and prospecting that person. But it almost sounded like in the beginning when she started that she was talking about kind of like a graphic that was a thank you, right? So I
It is.
send out, oh, okay, great.
I have
So
two different graphics. One is a thank you and one is how I met you. So I
Gotcha.
probably should have started the other way, but
Gotcha.
yeah.
No, that's okay. So, so I would encourage you to do something like that. I am a really big old school snail mail person. I know y'all get sick of me talking about snail mail, but I just think the written word has just been lost. And people like just getting a, fun surprise in the mail. So even if it's just and I don't say even like that's not a lot, but because for some of y'all, just sending a card to somebody or sending a thank you note is a big deal. It's like, oh Lord, geez, I got to go get stamps. Where I go get stamps? You can get it from Walmart. But it's just really important to thank your customers. You'd be surprised how far sending someone a note in the mail can go. Okay. And if you guys have ever noticed if you ever order something from a private site or Etsy or something like that, and they send you a few stickers or a handwritten thank you note for your order, like with your package, like we're not sending packages to people because Plexus sends them. But for me, I still feel like, okay, but I'm the customer service agent, right? I'm their point of contact. So it's important for me to then send them a thank you since I'm not physically sending their product. But when we order something from Etsy, we're getting that product and we're getting probably a handwritten note. And those are the people that I remember the most. I'll keep the cards a lot of times, because a lot of times it'll have like a 10% off or share and save and that sort of thing. So just remember that we are in the customer care business, and it's very easy to kind of all that to get lost in the shuffle, because for so long, especially this past year and a half, where we've had so many things like thrown at us, like these dangling carrots of Apple Watches and all these things, that it makes you only think about, let me just go get that new person instead of just, hey, let me go get new people. Let me plant new seeds and water and nurture new seeds every month, but let me also be caring for those people that have already come into my organization. So we are all a work in progress. We are all trying to perfect this thing. We will never be perfect at it because we're all human and fallible. But I really just want to encourage you, pick up something that I shared tonight and start implementing it today. There's studies that show that when people wait to start something, they never start it. Okay. And so make a decision tonight. There's something that I said tonight that probably you aren't doing that may have resonated with you more than some of the other things I said. That one thing, commit to yourself. I'm going to start doing that tomorrow with my next customer, or with my the person that signed up here in May already. I'm going to follow up with them in this way. It's never too late to provide that good care to your customers and VIP. So you guys have a great rest of your night. I'm trying to finish as early as I can because I know that most of you want to finish your month strong, just like I do. So y'all have a great one, and I'll see y'all soon. Can't wait for convention, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Robin.
Good night.
Good night.